Hi, this is Dave and welcome to The Table, a series of videos where I review and discuss various board and card games, looking at them from a family perspective. Today we're going to be taking a preview look at a trick-taking card game called Pull from Chevy Dodd. Now this is a trap shooting card game set up for 2 to 4 players. You can play as individuals or in a partnership, shooting at clay targets, trying to score points, but you got to watch out for the wildlife because if you shoot them, you're going to cause a foul and end up with negative points. Let's take a look at this game, how it's played, and I'll come back and I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, let's take a look at the components that come in Pull, and the first thing that you'll notice is that there's 2 decks of cards that come in the game. This is the target deck and this is the shot deck. Let's take a look at the target deck real quick here, and the first thing that I want to point out to you is that there are 5 different suits of cards that make up the target deck. Here we've got Teal, Overhead, Rabbit, Trap, and Chandelle. And most of these are your clay targets that you're going to be shooting at, but occasionally we'll have wildlife that comes through here, and those will give you a foul, so you want to avoid shooting them if possible. Now, the other thing that I wanted to point out to you here is these, you see 2 sets of numbers on each card here. And the way that this game is played is there's going to be 2 targets that will be placed on the table. And whether you're playing by yourself or in a partnership, you want to try to score both targets if possible. But if you only score one, when the card goes into your scoring pile, it will be placed this way, and whichever point value is facing up is going to be the points that you get. However, if you are to win both targets in that particular hand, you'll take both cards and you'll turn them sideways like this, and then you will just add up the combined points in your scoring pile. So you've got a dual scoring mechanism here depending on how you are able to score these particular targets. Now, let's take a look at the shot deck here, and these are the cards that you're going to be using to play and trying to shoot the targets. Now, one thing that I wanted to make mention to you here is that you've got a couple of these cards here that have this number 1 on it, and these just are called distraction cards, and these are shots that are so bad that it distracts all the other any 8s that are played, which is the highest valued card. So somebody plays an 8 and you are to play a distraction card, it will cancel out that 8 and give you a better chance of shooting a target and winning that particular trick. So there's a number of different values of cards in here. They go from 1 to 8 in the different suits of cards, and so that is what's going to make up this shot deck. Let me get this game set up and I'll show you how to play. Okay, so I have this set up here for a 4-player game, and I'm going to show you a little bit of how to play it that way. And it's set up as a partnership here with these 2 being partners and these 2 being partners. So they'll be sitting across from each other. I took the target deck and I shuffled it up and I placed it in the center here. And I took the shot deck and I shuffled it up and dealt each player a hand of 10 cards. And these other cards here will be placed off to the side. They will not be used this particular hand. Now, a hand is made up of 5 rounds, so we're going to be going around and playing on 5 sets of targets, and then the cards will be shuffled up and they'll be redealt. So I'm going to show you how to play 2 rounds in a hand for this playthrough. Then I'm going to explain variants for 2 and 3 players as well. Now, for the purpose of this video, and you can do this on your own, there are fouls that are in this particular target deck. And each time that one of them goes into either your scoring pile or your teammate's scoring pile, you need to keep track of that. And so I use glass counters, and I'll put them there. And every time that you score a 5th foul, you're going to lose 20 points. So what I did is, typically if we have 4 of these, I'll have one person to be assigned to keep track of the fouls. So if they had 4, if it was the 5th one, I'd take these in and I'd take one of these darker ones here to signify that at the end of this hand that we're going to be losing 20 points. So that's what I'm doing with these 2 colored glass tokens here. I'm going to put these off to the side here. Now, the way that this game is going to be dealt is that we're going to start off with turning over and essentially like throwing 2 targets onto the table. Now, what happened is this: I was the dealer starting off here, and to give the game a little bit more ambiance, I kind of yell, pull! and throw 2 targets out onto the table here. And then what I do is I take the target deck and I place it to the player on my left, and they will in turn lead the tricks for this particular set of targets. Now, there are 2 targets here. We have the overhead suit and we have the rabbit suit. Now, what this player will do here is they will play cards from their hand, and so I'm just kind of revealing it out this way. And the cards that you play the first round, if you're going to play one, must match the target that you're going to be shooting at. So if you're going to shoot at the overhead, you're going to have to play an overhead card. If you're going to shoot the rabbit, you're going to have to use the rabbit suit here. And so after we play the first card, there's going to be second cards that are going to be played, and they'll be played on the opposite target. So right now here, we already have a foul that's here, so we're going to want to try to not get this if possible. And we have this rabbit target over here that's really not worth a whole lot of points. So not great targets to start off with, but still we're going to try and play for them anyway. So I'm going to take cards from my hand, and essentially what I'm going to do is try and play something to try and win this. So since this is kind of a lower valued card, I don't really want to waste a high valued 8 here. So maybe what I'm going to do is I'll just play a 2 over here. So again, making sure that I leave enough room to play these on these cards. I'm going to play this over here, and that will be this player's turn. Now, my partner across from me will play a card, and essentially what I'm going to do here, and I should probably look and see if I have anything. Oh, I do. All right, so what I'm going to do here is, hopefully, assuming that my partner will have a good card, I'm going to play this 8 over here. And so I don't necessarily want this, but I'm kind of banking on my partner to kind of counter this and essentially not have to score it. And we'll look at this card here, and they have a 5 or 2. So maybe they're thinking, well, maybe they'll play this 2 over here on this target. Now, you can have your teammates shooting at the same target. You can pick either one that you want. Just on the next turn, you're going to have to play on the other one. And then finally, this one, I saw that my partner played this 8, and I'm going to play this 1 here, which is a disruption. And this disruption here, this is a shot that is so bad that it cancels out any 8s that are on the that have been played this particular round. Okay, so right now this is going to force their hand here. He's going to have to do something. They're going to kind of be stuck with this card here, because what I did is essentially canceled out these 2 cards. Okay, so that's the first part of this particular hand. And next, we're going to, each player will in turn have to place a card going at either target, and they can play. Actually, they have to place the opposite target that they shot at, but they can play any card in their hand, so it doesn't have to match suits. So over here right now we have a 2 on there, so maybe we'll just play we'll play that card there. They're going to choose a card and place it face down, and then they're going to simultaneously do a reveal on it. So I'm just kind of placing some cards here from their hand. This one here, and then finally this one here. We'll play this. Okay. So now everybody will reveal their cards here all at the same time and then place them on their targets. Now if we looked here, this one we played this 2 over here, so he's going to play this 4 teal here. This guy here, he played the 8, so he's going to play the 4 here. This one played the 2 over here, so I'm going to play a 5 here, and since this one I played a 1, I'll play a 6 over here. So now all of the cards have been played on their appropriate targets, and let's look and see how this is scored. Over here, we have this 1 and this 8 cancel each other out, okay? And so these guys are going to get stuck winning this particular target right here. So it's going to go to this player right here. Even though he played a, he didn't play a matching suit, he still had the highest value with the 4. So it's going to go over here for right now. We'll discard these cards and get them off to the side for right now. And then looking at over here, we have the highest value here would be a 6, which would be the card that I played. And so this will score to me over here, and we will discard these cards and place them off to the side. Now, this particular team over here, they scored a foul, so they'll take one of those scoring markers. Okay. Now this guy will say pull, and we'll put 2 more targets out here that will be ready for play, and the deck passes over here. Now my partner will lead the suit here, and if we notice here, we have teal or the chandelle here. And so I don't necessarily want this, and so I'm going to play this. I'm going to play a high-valued 7 over here, this overhand. Maybe I'll try to win this one. So I'm going to look over here and see what they have in their hand, and I'm also going to play, I'll play this 7 over here, wanting to win those points. If I look in my hand here, I'm going to play this 8. And over here, we're going to look at this thing over here, and I'll play this 6 teal over here on this card. And again, everybody will in turn then place a card in their hand. We'll place this one there. This one. We're going to play a card here. We're going to want to try and place something very low. We'll play this one here. And this one we will play this one. And this one. Final. And again, noting that when we play the second card, we don't necessarily have to match. And so what I'm going to do is I will play this card here. All right. So again, now we'll do the simultaneous reveal. And we'll play them on the appropriate cards here. This one will go here because he played on this one before. This 7 was placed here. This will go here. This was placed on this card. So here and here. So we'll get these cards lined up here. So we played that 7. Okay. So let's look at this here. He played this 1 over here, and it's going to cancel out this number 8 here. So what's going to happen is now there is a tie here for this particular one, and because this matched suit, he will win the points over here. So it's going to go over here for right now. We'll get these cards out of the way. And then if we look at this over here, we happen to have a 6 that will end up winning this one here. So what they're going to do is they're going to take both of these and get scored in their scoring pile. So what they're going to do now is, since they scored both of them, they will turn this way. So instead of having essentially like only 5 points, they're going to have 4, and they're going to accumulate a second foul here. Now, if they didn't win this one, they would have scored 10 points and been better off, but since they scored both, now they get turned 90 degrees and go in their scoring pile. So that's essentially how you play pull, and you're going to do this now around. They will go pull and put out 2 more targets and pass the target deck over here. Now this player will lead, and this is going to continue around. This will be the 3rd, and then 4th, and then 5th time. So after 5 rounds, we'll score everything and shuffle it up. So you'll add up all the points there, and then you will put them on your scoring pad. Now, a couple things that I wanted to explain to you that are different when playing a 2 or 3 player game is that when you play the, you're essentially going to be playing by yourself, and you'll be playing 2 cards from your hand, just like you did before, playing 1 on each target. However, this time you will not do a simultaneous reveal. You're just going to play the second card and see how it plays out. So it's going to be a little bit different, and then obviously you're going to be out for yourself. So just that minor variation of not doing this simultaneous reveal. And so that is how you play pull. Okay, let's talk about pull here. And this is a really neat trick-taking game. And you know, one thing that I have not said on this show is that with like trick-taking games is not typically my favorite type of card game type to play. Sometimes they're just confusing to me. I don't understand a lot of times with bidding and other things like that. I can play hearts okay. I do a really good job with playing hearts on the computer. I actually kind of win a lot more often than not now. But some of the other ones can be a little bit more confusing to me. But this one here, I like this one, and there's a couple things why. I like the fact that there's 2 targets to go after, so you're playing cards against two different things in an attempt to win, and so it kind of it's going to spread the cards out a little bit more, and it's going to have to make you think more about how you're going to play your cards. So it increases the strategy. Now, one of the things that's not confusing about this is that there's no bidding, and you don't have to worry about a particular trump suit. Now, in the rules, you do have to, on your first card, you do have to play a card that will match at least one of the suits that's out there for the 2 targets. So you're going to have to play that way. Unless you don't have anything, then you can just play any card. So you don't have to worry about trumps. And so that is one of the really cool things about this game. And you have the 2 targets to go after. So those are some really cool elements to do it. Now, the strategy comes in when you're playing your cards is trying to win both targets. And now if you're playing with a partnership, you can't, you're really not you can't talk to your partner across the way and say, what to play. So you're going to have to learn how to read off of each other. And if you're playing as an individual, you have a little bit more control over your hand in trying to take those cards. But you also have a couple of tricks up your sleeve. You have that disruption card, and that can certainly throw a wrench into somebody's plan if they had played an 8 on one of the targets. So if they open up with an 8, if you have that disruption, you can play that one to kind of set them off and cancel out their card. Or if you lead with an 8, they're going to have to play something else to try to win those targets. So you've got that particular card that you're going to have to deal with. And then also you have those particular fouls that are out there that if you start accumulating them, you're going to lose negative points on the front end unless you can score them. Sometimes if you can score 2 targets at once, the negative points you may cancel out and become a 0, but you're still accumulating those fouls. And if you get 5 of them, you're going to lose 20 points. That could be devastating. So you've got a few cool elements that add to this game. I like the fact that you can, when it comes to scoring, that it's basically the highest value shot that's going to be put on the target. So again, you don't have to worry about a trump. So I do like that. Now this game, looking at it from a family perspective, one thing about this particular game, and I will say this about a lot of the other trick-taking games, is that it brings back nostalgia of when I was a kid growing up. My parents would have their friends over and they would sit around and they would play cards and just socialize and have a good time together. And that's what a game like this, and I'm sure there's other trick takers out there too that you can play, that's what this reminds me of. Just getting together and spending time together, playing cards. The partnership aspect of this kind of reminds me of playing some of the other traditional card games. But really, pretty much from a family perspective, this just leads to some good family fun or friends fun, having people together. And that's what this accomplishes. It's a simple little trick-taking game that's set up in just trap shooting, and it's quite a bit of fun. And so I want to recommend this one to you. It's just something to have at the house. You could take it with you going out and playing at restaurants. Again, having people over and just having that social time together. That's what this game brings about, with a really cool theme and some good strategies. So if you would like to pledge your support and help make this project a reality, I have the information in the video description below, so you can go ahead and pledge this project and bring it about and make it a reality. All right, that's it for now, and join me again next time as we take a look at another game and we see how it makes it to the table.